This is the Potentate of Hate, and I hate everything except for the Timo and Harley Show.
Welcome to the Timo and Harley Show.
Thank you for listening to Timo and Harley Show. I am Timo. Over there's my partner in Mindcrime, Mr. Ben Harley. Say hello, Harley.
What is happening, people?
Ben, it's been a hell of a week, Harley.
Oh, it has, hasn't it, Timo, my friend?
Yes, so we are now back updating Angio's surgery, her hysterectomy for supposed cervical cancer. Well, I regret to inform, they didn't get anything out. That was not... Yeah, so basically trying to make this short because since we last spoke with you, love the audience. And that means I think the last time we actually recorded a show was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So in the 2 weeks ago, I've almost lost her twice. That was fun. Due to an infection because of complication with the surgery. Mm-hmm. And they didn't get out everything they thought they were going to. Matter of fact, they didn't really get anything out except the fact that they know it wasn't there. So basically what she has is a rare form of cancer. It's called non-primary, meaning that the best way I can describe it is that let's say that she had a little tumor grow in her and the tumor started to metastasize a little bit. However, the original tumor was killed either by something she's doing or just her body or something like that, or her immune system fought it off. Believe it or not, folks, this stuff can happen. Okay.
Yeah.
So what happened was that when I went to the lymph node, that's where it came from.
Yeah.
So the spooky thing is you don't have a tumor. So on one hand, you get stuff back and everything's negative. And usually for people, that sounds great because they have a tumor removed, they get a biopsy, and it comes back negative. It was benign. Yeah. This was wonderful. Blah, blah. Well, that's not what we have going on here.
No.
So basically, we have switched doctors. It's been a long couple weeks. And we're not comfortable anymore. And I just kind of want to tell people, be your own advocates if this stuff happens. Because Angio was basically given a 50-50 shot to live and not much hope was given as far as anything else. And we weren't comfortable with this doctor. A couple miracles happened, and another big group around here was also following her case. And they are current, and the doctor that we were previously at had told us that he had not seen this in 20 years. And in his 20 years of practice, he had never seen this. And the doctors that we are going to now are currently treating 6 patients who are doing well with her rare disorder or whatever. Mm-hmm. So that's that. And that is a big cliff notes, and Harley would tell you that. I can't even remember everything that's happened. But the surgery went well except for a complication from it. They gave her an awful infection, which had her in the hospital. We've been in the hospital basically for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Off and on for the most part. And it's been rough, but we've had a lot of support from people and space. Both has been pretty good. It's very hard to be sitting there thinking you're losing someone and people are going, how's it going? How's it going? On your phone and stuff. You're like, and you love people for it, but you're like,
it's hard.
It is hard. Yeah. It is hard. So unfortunately, we have had many different second opinions on this, and she has to have chemo and radiation, which is rough. You have to do that. So that but they don't think her hair will fall out and stuff like that. It's going to be discomfort. There's always risks involved.
Sure.
And cancer is never 100% thing, so we're still nervous and scared, but much more calm now. Much more normal. Unfortunately, Unfortunately,
a little more at peace, I should say.
Yeah. We don't think that she's going to be able to make it to Retro Invasion Weekend due to treatments. We're going to kind of feel that one out. At this point, it looks like I'm going to come, and I think her mom's going to come here and stay with her, which is good. Okay. She might need a break from old Timo here.
She might. You are handsome and all, though, but
my crass sense of humor doesn't always work. during cancer treatments. I can tell you now, because I'll make fun of the cancer treatments. It doesn't really matter, because I have to laugh at stuff that bothers me. You have to laugh at it.
Yeah.
You kind of almost just to piss it off. In a way. But I'd like to just thank everybody. There's one special shout out, Mr. Ben Harley, I want to give, and that is to Cassie DePaiva.
Yeah,
Bobby Joe. To our best pal Danny Hicks's Jake from Evil Dead 2. This woman has gone out of her way to call Angie, be wonderful to us.
Yeah.
She battled cancer. It was a highly public one due to her soap opera stardom and stuff like that. And it was leukemia. She battled it back. She's been in remission for quite a while now. She's wonderful. I mean, the last time we talked about it, she was showing us these little tattoos she had to get on her side. So then when they hit the radiation, they hit in the exact same spot. So she was going through all of this with us the last time we saw her, which was in the last year. And now we're dealing with this. And she said a prayer with Angie. I mean, she's been wonderful. And that's not to dismiss my good friend, Mr. Ben Harley, Bob Slender, and Danny Hicks, Ian Baird, Fragile Force Mice, Ultraman, our families, and stuff like that. Everyone has been great. But since she had a bird's eye view of this right now, and she's got a personal thing.
Helpful. Yeah, it's helpful. It's got to be helpful for Angie.
It was very helpful for her to talk to her and give her the straight dope on treatments.
Yes.
Because Cassie had some pretty major treatments, and she was real straight with Angie, but helped her. Told her what some tricks to do. Also gave us some doctors' names and numbers who maybe we wouldn't have access to without someone like her. And it's nice to know that it's not that this was nice to know. This is why I told Angie. It's not that we're so cool that she wants to help us. Is that there's a person out there that cares about people. Yeah. And we've learned in the last month that commodity is not in full supply as you would hope in the medical industry. So, and we've been talking about this for years too, just live on the show, joking around with it. But, so we're going to keep giving updates and stuff. She's going to do these treatments. She's also doing, like a vegan type diet with a lot of veggies and a lot of good things to keep her body strong. That would kill old Ben Harley. That would be it for me. Well, what I was about ready to say is we're also on the Illinois pilot medical cannabis program. Me and Ben Harley could probably run that, and probably put them in some sort of a low quantity. They might run shortages if we get sick, and both live in Illinois. But Angio is not someone who enjoys that quite as much as someone like we might, and it's pretty tough on her. But she's doing the diet. I'm glad she likes her veggies. She does, and she's doing that hardcore, and she's doing good. She's doing what she can with the cannabis. There's a lot of studies that show that it makes cancer turn on itself. It also helps with treatment. Oh yeah, it eats it away. It confuses the cancer into eating itself. That's what they've seen. It gets it high. It does, and it confuses it. And then it also, it's also good for pain, and it's also good for a lot of different diseases like Parkinson's and things like that. This needs to be looked into. Really bad. And we need to get the government. We all need to start pushing the government to start studying this. Get your stereotype about Tommy Chong out. Yeah. So what Tommy Chong ever do to you? Too, exactly. What did he ever really do? And here's the other thing too. If somebody wants to get high, so what? Don't you drink? Yeah. Right. Don't you drink? Right. Why do you drink? Do you drink to kill cancer, or do you drink to unwind and maybe you're stopping pain? Well, I got some news for you. Alcohol will kill you, and it's addictive. And I drink. But I'm just saying, there was prohibition at one time, and there was a lot of bad stuff that came out of that. Sure was. There's a lot of bad stuff coming out of this. So let's legalize this stuff for people's lives, especially if it's helping people as much as it is, and it has the medicinal properties that it has. Why not? Why not? You know what I mean? Right. And I can understand where it's had that stigma for so many years, but I've never gone out of my way to blow weed smoke in somebody's face who didn't want, or just like cigarette smoke. Right. Exactly. So, and, I just think it's time that we can be a little bit more adult about it, you know, and not so juvenile. And why are people fighting this when it's never hurt one person? No, it's your personal idiosyncrasy. It's your own. I know we were all told for years and years it was killing you. They just lumped it in with drugs that do kill you.
Yeah.
Including the ones that doctors are giving you.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
This is not one of them that's killing you. And nobody wants it legal because it's pharmaceutical companies do not want you to know how beneficial this is because it hurts them. They can't patent it.
No.
Now I'm going to stop there. I haven't said any doctors' names. I'm not going to do anything else because it's not the forum for it. This is a horror show. Angio and I are very close, obviously. She comes with us a lot to the shows and stuff. I just wanted to give an update.
Part of this show.
Yes, she is. Yeah, she helps a lot. And behind the scenes, she's huge. Why I kind of call her the matriarch and stuff.
And in Japan, she's huge too.
Yeah. Just like Quiet Riot, you know.
That's right.
Yeah.
No,
but
and she's our lady. She's our show. She's our lady. You know what I mean? Yep. And we don't want nothing bad to happen to her. Sure. And I think a lot of the people that know her and listen to the show know of her. Sure. And stuff too, and would also care. Yeah,
and anyone who ever met her, even just someone who came to the show and asked if we had a certain poster or something, knows that you know what kind of person she is. So we're just going to keep you updated. Hopefully we won't have to have a long, heartfelt update like that because we like to be a fun horror show. And even Hinge and I like to laugh through all this. You know, you have to. You got to keep spirits up. And hopefully we can help keep our spirits up. But maybe if we help somebody listening that might be struggling or, whatever, that would be great. You can always, email our page or something if you have a question. If you're listening to this, I can try to get you back, an answer or something like that if you need help or something like that. But because now we're in this. And I can tell you from experience, even though it's only been a couple months for us, you get smart quick. Mm-hmm. So if you need help or where to start on this, shoot our page a message on Facebook or something. I'll try to get back to you. That being said, amazingly enough, Mr. Ben Harley. Yeah. Amazingly enough, I got a couple things in before life went to hell again. Yes. And even two of them with my lovely MGO. So one of them was just me. One of them was just me. Okay. So on Amazon Prime, there was a movie. It was 1976. Okay. And it's called Island of Death.
It's a good year.
It is a good year. But this movie. Yeah. Well, actually, that was the year that Angie was born, believe it or not.
Wow.
So, yes.
See?
7/11. 7/11/76.
Wow.
Yes.
7/11. I like that. That's a good way to remember.
Yes. Nice. So this movie is called Island of Death. Okay. And it was directed by Nico Masterakis, I think his name is. He did the movie Zero Boys and Blind Date. Did some 80s type movies you probably saw on the VHS shelves. Let's put it that way. This movie is known for its brutality. Okay. It's basically natural born killers on a Greek island circa 76. Okay. And it was even made, Nico actually admittedly said, this is depraved for depravity's sake. It's just for money. He just wanted to make something real exploitive. And this couple comes to an island, a Greek island, okay? Sure. So immediately you think you're following the hero and the heroine and you're going through this and there's all these local people on this island kind of giving them the stink eye and stuff. So you're thinking, oh boy, here we go. This is going to be one of these, the island's going to be full of people that are menacing the couple and they're going to torture them. And well, no, actually, what's the interesting part of this movie is as it goes on, you realize the couple are depraved. And they're on the run. So they're on this island and they just start killing the shit out of everybody. Yeah. Right. There was a bit of a hypnotic, watching it. Yeah. And it was, you could tell it was gross for gross sake. There's a lot of, it's nasty, sexy nasty, and it's gross, icky, violent, gory nasty too. So both of them are nasty and everything's on the table in this movie. It's it's one of those shock and awe type movies or whatever. For shock value, if you're curious, if you haven't seen it, I'm not sad I watched it, but I got a pretty strong constitution when it comes to this stuff because I know I'm watching a movie. Now, if you're easily offended or, as you say, Mr. Ben Harley, Nancy Pansy schoolboy or whatever,
Betsy Wetsy schoolboy.
I think you might want to steer clear of this one. But for our little harder edged listeners, you could give it a shot. It's interesting. It's interesting to watch once, there is a little bit of a story there and somebody tried to make something out of it, so it's all right. It's okay. Okay. Just two more, Mr. Ben Harley, real quick. First up, from 1960, we went back and watched The Manster.
The Manster.
The Manster. Now, when we're watching.
Did we do that?
Yeah, we did do that. That's the one where the guy has a little eyeball growing on his shoulder. Next thing you know, he's in Japan with 2 heads.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, the little black and white movie. Yeah. It's a kind of a Japanese United States serum movie where he's running around with a balloon on his shoulder. Looks like a head. Yeah. Well, you can imagine we needed a dumb movie, Mr. Ben Harley. Unfortunately, we did watch this before her infection almost took her out. But we were trying to. Yeah. The Manster almost took her out, I think, Mr. Ben Harley. It was a tough one on her. So, yeah.
I can only imagine.
Right.
What are you doing to me, Tim?
Yeah, but it was fun to watch. It really was. Last up, I know we've been kind of on a Fly freak out a little bit. And we did watch The Fly 2 from 1989. Yeah, the Eric Stoltz.
Yeah, I think I've only seen that a couple times.
It did well at the box office and stuff, but it just wasn't The Fly. Chris Walas, who did the effects for the first one, he was the director of this. And Chris Walas is a really well-respected effects guy. Actually, Tom Sullivan from The Evil Dead went to work for Chris Walas, and I think he was working with him during this movie.
Oh, really?
Actually, okay. This movie's okay. I think when it came out, I didn't like it as much because it wasn't The Fly. But now watching it through the prism of the last 30 years or so, as I say, I like it more now because it's more of a monster movie.
Yeah.
We had fun watching it. It wasn't that bad, and I hadn't seen it in so long.
I'm trying to think how long it's been. I'm going to have to go back and check that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was cool going back and watching both of them. I will tell you, it was pretty cool. But that's all I got. Now Mr. Ben Harley, here's the thing. Now I know that I've been clearly busy on the rocks and everything. You've been under the weather. I don't think you've gotten a chance to watch a whole lot. But on the other hand, I think you said you got some Gotham and stuff going and stuff like that. But on the other hand, you had a wrestling event that we have not been able to report back, and I have no idea what my clients I
need a lawyer.
I've been working on Angie's malpractice suits. I
know.
What's
You're
going
busy,
on,
pal? So, I was trying to
start from the beginning. Tell it to me. Let me write it down. Got my docket here. Hold on. There's my docket.
Well, here's the thing, Timo. Now, here's the thing. You know me. I'm a gentleman. First and foremost, I am a gentleman of the highest order.
Right.
And I'm not about to sully. Or I should say, soil.
I'm getting my frequency high. I'm getting my frequency high.
Not about to soil my mitts on a mindless brute, right? But I was accosted by one Norm Waymer last week. For real.
He must have snuck up on you. He could. What?
Well, here's the thing, right? And I'm not going to try to break kayfabe here, but I might. I don't know, but. So we took on Warhorse and another fine match. What a great match! Another fine match, but
excellent.
Our Genghis and Pedo were, they needed a little help. So Kevin and I just got in there just to give them a fair shake, and for some odd reason, we got disqualified. I don't understand.
What?
I don't understand. Right? So,
that's not the way you want to keep the straps, is it?
No.
You want to win.
So
the damn refs.
So, we were a little upset about it, so we had to we did a little Mexican hat dance for a little on Warhorse.
Okay.
And they're not Mexican, so I'm not trying to be racist. Okay, I'm sorry.
Nor are they good dancers, so it's okay.
No, yeah. So as I peeled out of the ring, to gather myself, I was issued a challenge from Crosshairs Kelly, who is part of Warhorse.
Okay.
And he said, hey, Farouk, first you lost in the count out, then the disqualification. Let's do it a third time. And I said, no. No. But, with the crowd, I kind of was listening to the crowd, and maybe we should give him another shot.
A man of the people.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So I said, yes, we will. If you want it, we'll be back. And
awesome.
The old Tubagoo himself, Norm Whaler, come up to me, and as I'm waiting for him to come get the mic, he finally waddles his ass over. And I did say, Norm Whaler, about time you got here, something silly like that.
Sure.
And he wouldn't take the mic from me, and it got very awkward. Like, take the mic, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, I've said my piece. Now I figured he would take the mic and issue his blowhearted
Diatribe?
Yeah, like he's always doing, right?
Crybaby shit, yeah.
That's right. That's cool, girl. And then
write it down.
Yep, write it down. So, and then I said to him, Tim, I said, take the mic, you worm. And when I said that, he snapped, man. And he came at me, and he had his little his cane. He's got a cane, right?
Of course he does.
So he started poking me with it. Yeah. It's hard to waddle without a cane. Yeah. So he's poking me with this cane.
How else do you hit the button on the elevator?
Right. Or the microwave, man.
Right.
Oh my God. So then
Call
he's
the pump
poking
for
me.
gas.
Yeah, right. Hold your hat, right?
Yeah.
So so he's really coming at me and poking me with that thing. I mean, and so Timo, I got to the point where now I play enough hockey and stuff and I don't like to be bum rushed, really. No. So Norm Waymer ate a little bit of my skull on a stick thing.
Ooh.
I cried. Yeah. Oh yeah. At one point I finally said, I've had enough of you. And I gave him a cross check.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, yeah. And he just blew up, and it was funny too. So I scurried out of there and ran over to the other side of the ring, and continued my shtick.
So time out. So what you're saying, I'm writing this down. So what you're saying is that Norm Waymer was trying to accost you. Yes. You turned around to try to flee, to flee the scene, to flee the possible repercussions that and end the process
to calm the situation down.
You nicked him with your staff.
Yes.
And now did he break your staff? Because that could be okay. No. Well, you'd have a case there. But keep it going. Okay, sorry.
It might be a little damage. So I'll take some photos.
All right. You take photo. I'm gonna write that. I'm gonna note it. Now continue. Thank you. Sorry.
So he called me names, Timo. He called me a dirty name. He called me a freak.
What?
And a PRICK. I won't even say it. Yeah.
Hold
on the microphone.
It's a family show.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
What does he think this is? The Attitude Era? Come on now.
And I will say, though, Timo, this one lady who's always giving me the business, her and I have a little fun thing going, you know. And she's always, after that happened, she said, I like you now.
No, you haven't gone face. Don't tell me you've gone. Okay, good. Don't do it.
No.
Don't do it.
No, no.
You stick to your guns.
The crowd loves us, though. The crowd just loves, and that's, I think, little Norm's a little bit, his problem is that he can't control the clowns, and, you can't control mayhem, Timo, right?
So it's a pick on you. If you don't want to pick on the clowns, he wants to pick on you, right?
Yeah, and there's other things we'll have to talk about.
There are bullying laws, Mr. Ben Harley. Now I am in Illinois, not in Ohio. I will be making a phone call.
He is a bully.
I'm close personal friends with John Kasich. We're gonna get something going here.
Thank you, Tim. Because I needed an adult that night, and not one was to be found. No. And Norm can't be an adult himself and have a conversation. So
I'm going to play on the sympathies of Mr. Kasich too. So I couldn't be there for my wrestler. My wife was dying.
Right. Yeah.
And what are we going to do about this? And Kasich being a God fearing man, I'm sure he's going to help. You tell old Norm Whaler that Captain Ahab is on his on his trail here. So well, Mr. Ben, that sounds like a hot mess you got going on there.
Yeah,
something like a hot mess. Okay, so you guys, the Circus of Pain, are also going to be at Retro Invasion Weekend, which is May 31st through June 2nd. Through June 2nd. Now, on June 2nd, you have the next event.
Yes.
At St. Clements Hall,
Justice, I think, is what they're calling this one. Yeah.
June Justice. Okay. All right. So that'll be your next event. So that'll be right after. So you guys will have like a whole weekend of scaring kids and having ego strokes. And then you're going to go there and scare kids and you're going to give people strokes, right?
Strokes, exactly. Wait, Tim. Yeah. What a life, huh?
Yeah.
Sometimes I have to sit back and think about it and just enjoy myself.
Right.
Now, I will say I did enjoy myself watching the episode. From our match hasn't aired yet, but it was fun to enjoy seeing Norm stew a little because all his plans went up in smoke that night, so it was pretty fun to watch. But I guess, Tim, the word of the day would be accosted, and so I want you to write that on your docket, and then we'll head from there. We'll go.
Got it written down, underlined,
accosted,
underlined,
yeah.
Even.
Yeah. So, all right, Tim, real quick, just a couple of things I watched real fast.
Hey, go ahead.
I did watch the movie The Dirt on Motley Crue.
Oh, all right, on Netflix.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't know if you watched that yet or not.
I don't have Netflix, so no.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, sorry. Not bad. It is what it is. I know people keep telling me about dramatizations. Like, I don't know what they are, but I'm pretty sure this is a dramatization.
Gotcha. Yeah,
it's good though. You know what I mean? What can you do? I mean, for the most part, it's pretty good. There was one part that I knew was going to be hard for me to watch, and it was. And,
was that the car accident?
Well, that part was really kind of, the way they did it was kind of neat, and I shouldn't say neat, but then it was horrific. They handled it well, and then it turned horrific, like ugh. It was. Gotcha. But no, there's the part with Vince Neil and his daughter.
Okay.
He had a daughter who ended up died at a young age.
Okay.
So
okay.
that's
Gotcha.
always
like
one of my biggest fears.
Right.
So, yeah.
Gotcha. No, I understand. Sure.
But yes, other than that, it was. It's pretty good. It's it's okay. I would like to see it a little bit more music, maybe more about just like them jamming or playing live and stuff, maybe. But other than that, it's okay. And I saw him on a couple of those tours. I liked Motley Crue up until, I don't know, Girls was okay. I didn't really like the album. There was some stuff on it that was all right. I did see the tour, and it was fun. But after that, right. I do like the early stuff. It's fun. It really is. So
Shout Out the Devil is very good. I like Shout Out the Devil. That's actually the one album I like. I like Shout Out the Devil. I don't like really anything else, but I do like that a lot. Yeah, I
like the Too Fast for Love a lot. It's
okay.
Different,
yeah,
but it's got some weak. It hasn't lasted the test of time like Shout Out the Devil has.
Right.
You can put Shout Out the Devil on now, and it sounds like good.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah.
Like really good. You know. Let's see here, buddy. This is something close to your heart. I watched also on Netflix. Sydney and I came across Japanese anime about Ultraman.
Oh, Ultraman. Nice. Ultraman. Excellent. Yeah.
Yes. I've watched a couple episodes. I'm not quite sure. He hasn't gotten large yet. I don't know. I kind of like him pummeling monsters through buildings and giant buildings.
Yeah.
Not just little buildings, like giant skyscrapers.
Sure.
So we'll see. We'll see. This
How big is he?
Like,
is he like 4 feet tall, or was he?
I'd say 5'5", 5'10", maybe.
Okay, so he certainly isn't. He certainly isn't becoming that Ultraman just quite yet.
No.
Okay.
No, and what's kind of cool though, it's based a lot on the actual old television show. Like, this is supposed to be like the next generation.
Okay. Yeah.
This is the next Ultraman,
Gotcha.
the son of Ultraman, the guy that fused with Ultraman. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It might be a whole different story I missed. I don't really know. But
they tend to weave kind of a complicated yarn in the Japanese anime universes and things like that.
Little, but I'm hanging on. I'll get back to you. But I've watched like 3 episodes. They did introduce some monsters that kind of were like the ones from the olden days. So, but I don't know. The Japanese anime, I like it and I don't.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Because it's so good and then it's so bad all at the same time.
I appreciate it, but I just don't get into it.
It's just some of it I just can't. There's something about it. So.
Yeah.
But a lot of it I do like. So. Right. All right. Moving on to giant monsters. All right. I did watch Destroy All Monsters.
Oh.
Or as my ex-wife Julie calls it, Stomp All Creatures. And that's why she could never find it for me. That's funny. She tried, God bless her, years ago when we first got together. There was one movie I couldn't find. It was Destroy All Monsters. And she finally came to me one day and she said, I've been trying to surprise you. I wanted to find that movie and I just can't find it. And I said, oh, okay. Well, what was it? She said, Stomp All Creatures. And I said, what the hell is Stomp All Creatures? She said, that movie you like. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then I finally figured out that she meant Destroy All Monsters. Gotcha. And we had a good laugh. So I still call it Stomp All Creatures.
Right.
And it's a good movie still to this day. I must say it's one of the better Godzilla films. I
got that to you, right? I did get it for you. Right?
Yep,
okay, good.
Yeah,
So you do
have
it.
Watched.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
That's the one I watched the other day. Mm-hmm. I think he sent me the Blu-ray of it.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a good story. Like the story of it's good. What I do think in this new Godzilla that's coming out at the end of the month, I think it's going to be loosely based on Destroy All Monsters, where you have Ghidra and you have all the monsters, but Ghidra is the badass, and then everybody's gonna have to kind of team up to whip Ghidra's ass type thing. You know what I mean? It's pretty much what it's gonna be. But I'm excited, very excited about the new Godzilla. I hope it doesn't let me down, but it looks good. It really does. I think you're gonna see more monsters, and I think that's what people want.
Sure.
People like stories. I don't know why, but,
Unfortunately, I kind of like this in the 99 Godzilla. I liked the story until Godzilla came along. It was really fascinating until it happened. I was like, what's that thing? This is like the Jurassic Park 2 all over again, whatever the Lost World or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, Raymond Burr. Let's see. What we got here? Okay, last but not least, Timo, Gotham. I finished up Gotham. And
the whole series? The whole series.
Yep.
Did you get what you expected?
A little. Okay. But you know what? It was funny because Wendy's watched it with me originally, kind of, and then she kind of got out of it because I don't want to give away too much, but in a lot of these movies nowadays and stuff, especially in the comic book world and stuff, people die and have a tendency to come back.
Sure.
Quite a bit.
It's like soap operas.
Yeah. A lot. They come back a lot, so I think that kind of bummed her out after a while. She's like, oh, geez, because you never knew if someone really died or not.
Right. Yeah.
So, but the last season, she kind of was coming back and watching a little bit with me. And I think right at the end, she was like, wait, what? Like, oh, no. Like, I want some more, and it was actually it was decent. Now I am not Bruce Wayne. I'm not greatest detective. I'm not the world's greatest. I'm not Sherlock Holmes, but like I said, I nailed this from the first time. The first 30 seconds of the first episode, I knew what was going to happen.
Right.
And it did.
Okay.
And it did. Like Bruce Wayne was gone for 10 years. He come back, and this episode was, James Gordon has become commissioner at this point. So Batman shows up for a little bit and kicks a couple asses here and there. Catgirl's grown up and's looking pretty hot.
Oh, there we go.
So she's in it, and she's mad because he left. But I don't know. They might.
Poor thing.
And they could do a pretty good, they could do a pretty good spinoff. I would think, and like you said, I'm surprised that they haven't, with as popular as Batman is as a television show, I think would be great. So maybe this is it. I don't know. But of course, like I said, I knew it. He was going to show up at the last episode of the last show or last episode of the season of the whole thing. Yeah. And then sure enough, he did. Yeah. So,
did he look good? Did at least you like, well, there he is. So at least I got one Batman shot or whatever it was. Yeah.
And it was just a couple things, here and there. That was cool, and he, I was a little bit disappointed though, because at the end of the episode before this last one, the Joker and the Riddler were kind of teamed up, and the Riddler did a nice little speech that I was like, this is great. I wish he'd have been like this all the time. But like I had said to you, these characters, them becoming who they were, you know what I mean? Right. So that was hard for me a little bit to watch, but I just wish I would watch one just on the Riddler. It's just a TV show about him. Yeah. I doubt that's ever going to happen, but anyways, kudos to Gotham. I'm going to give it a 3/4 of a great Bape Up. How about that?
Okay.
3/4, it was kick ass, but not, I don't know, not quite kick ass enough. How about that? Okay. Still good though. I still enjoyed it, and I'll probably go back and watch it someday. Someday again.
Well, there you go. At least you got something.
But yes. So
at least it didn't horribly disappoint you, right? I mean, like, it didn't go somewhere really stupid where you didn't want it to go or something. So that's good. Yeah, it's never going to be exactly what you're thinking, but I mean, if it's really close, there you go.
and I'll give them so much props for bringing out certain characters that I was like, wow, you really did that? Awesome. Yay. You know, bravo.
Right.
Bravo. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't need to bring that guy out. Solomon Grundy, for crying out loud. You brought him out. Bravo. That's great. So
awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get to our official little film. We're gonna at least this. We might stick on this one movie, or we might try 2 movies. We don't know. Each week, depending on our schedules for for the foreseeable future, right now at least. Might pare it down to 1. Might do 2. We will see. But this week, we do know it's only 1 movie. But we picked out a doozy.
Yeah.
We picked out a doozy for you. From 1977, we have The Sentinel.
The Sentinel.
Yes. Let me get
I've
movie
never seen
guy.
this.
Never. Wow. Oh, this is gonna be fun.
Yeah.
This is gonna be fun. Okay. I've been waiting for fun. Here we go. All right. So, let's see. Let me get out movie guy and get you a short storyline synopsis here. Here we go.
Yeah.
Not ready for marriage. A fashion model moves into an unbelievably cheap Brooklyn Heights apartment where weird occurrences turn into a much more frightening turn of events.
There it is.
Okay. Yes, Christina Rains moves into a new place. She's dating Chris Sarandon, of all people.
Yes.
And she's dating Chris Sarandon and moving into a building.
Ugliest mustache.
Yeah, it's a
70s
stash. I know. I think about me when I see a mustache too.
It's a creepy 70s mustache.
Right. So they're like boyfriend, girlfriend, I guess, like debating getting married and things like that. But Christina Rains wants to get her own apartment. So she gets an apartment in this weird building. Basically, look, this is kind of a very, very much of a Rosemary's Baby setup.
Yeah.
So she moves in an apartment with a bunch of bizarre people living there. And just like Rosemary's Baby 2, actually more so than Rosemary's Baby, in my opinion, it's chucked full of Hollywood stars.
This whole movie
is it's like a dream cast, basically.
Yeah. It's funny. Now, I know there's actors in films, Timo. I know they call them actors, and there's usually a lot of them. But this had a lot of up and coming, or, soon to be, like, super close to being superstars in this movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like every other scene, I'm like, well, there's so and so. Oh, that's what's his name from Law and Order. Oh, there's
Jerry Orbach is on there, and then I mean, when you got Christopher Walken listed 15th down the list of people, we got Martin Balsam, John Carradine, Jose Ferrer, Ava Gardner, Arthur Kennedy. I think I mentioned Burgess Meredith. You know what, though? This is the kind of movie you just 10 minutes and you're like, I know Burgess Meredith is showing up. I can feel it. Like, you just know he's and there he is, and you're excited. The very cute
D'Angelo.
Yes. And her that was funny too. Did you know who her older girlfriend was?
She looks super familiar.
Sylvia Miles. She was the fortune teller in the Funhouse.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
Exactly. So Eli Wallach, Deborah Raffin, the very attractive friend to Christina Rains. They should have switched those. I would have rather looked at Deborah Raffin for an hour and a half. My personal opinion, anyway. But so what it really is that they discover this building has a gateway to hell. And that there's a sentinel that is protecting it on some level.
Okay.
Who these people are, what's going on, I'll leave that up to people. I don't want to spoil it too much.
Yeah.
Something like that's going on almost right away. And people have had time to see this movie. Unfortunately, Ben Harley, you were one of the people who just by the nick of time saw this movie before we did this review for the first time. Now, in my world, this was a Saturday night shocker special. They played this on a Saturday night shocker probably once a year. Or something like that.
And I've heard of this, but like you were saying, there's a few Sentinels out there.
Well, there was one. Yeah, there was one from the 2000s or something.
Yeah.
It was like an action or thriller type movie.
Yeah. But no, this one got past me, which is weird. And I wanted to kind of go back and check poster art and see why this one. Maybe just didn't have it at our video store. Just it didn't play around
possible.
here.
It wasn't hard for me to come by. So I mean, I don't know. You have to look into it. Maybe it just didn't tickle your fancy. Maybe it looked too much like Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, that was a rough one for me to get through as a kid.
Yeah.
Oh God. And I mean, it's a good movie. It really is. But back then, I was like, oh man, I want to take a nap during it. You know, it's one that I wanted to watch during the day. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to watch this during the day on a Saturday afternoon.
Well, I find it fascinating that Rosemary's Baby is such a classic. I don't like Rosemary's Baby. It might be it's a well-made movie.
Yeah.
It's a drama, man. It's not an interesting drama to me. I know we watched it with Danny Hicks a couple years ago, and he really likes the movie, and I can't stand it. I just don't like it. It's boring to me, like you're saying. But I think, unfortunately, and to me, it's known as this big classic, and the Sentinel here is kind of forgotten, except for weirdos like me.
Yeah,
because they're very similar films, but this one pays off, man. I mean, it pays off in a big time.
There's some weird stuff in there. Okay, now when she moves into this apartment, she goes down to she wants to meet she does meet Burgess, right? And his little parakeet.
Well, she meets people walking around, seeing them, just your typical,
and living in an apartment. And then she actually goes down to the apartment of Beverly D'Angelo and what's her name, the fortune teller,
right? Sylvia Miles,
yeah. And man, there's a scene there that made me so uncomfortable as a person that I don't even know as a man, even, as a dude. I was like, and I'm thinking to myself, how uncomfortable would it have been to be the person in that, not the actor in the scene, but be that, you know what I mean? Like. Oh my God! I was like, I don't know how to explain it. I've seen some cuckoo crazy stuff in my life, and that one,
she basically pleasures herself in a very earthy way, right in front of Christina Raines. Just two people sitting in a room, not saying a word.
And she won't say nothing to her, and then she just all of a sudden starts doing that. Which, hey, I'm not that much of a prude, okay? But I was like. Oh, I felt uncomfortable. I'm back here in the shop, man. I'm blushing like, oh God, what is like?
It's one of those things where David Lynch saw it and said, "Man, I wish I would have thought of that first."
It's an uncomfortable scene, man. Like it's nothing to me. It was nothing like, oh, that's really sexual. No, it was I was like, I would have had to flee that room at that point. I would have had to flee the room.
It definitely puts things into a what is going on here? What is, I mean, it does. It does. It's like, okay, what am I in for?
Yeah. And
it does prepare you a bit because there is a lot of uncomfortable stuff in this. Yeah.
Right. And it's funny because I so she kind of gets herself out of that situation and out into the hallway, and Burgess Meredith's there, and the two girls kind of follow her out, and then Burgess Meredith says, made some friends, huh? Because he can't, he knows what the hell is going on.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, and then just the way he said, made some friends, huh? And I was like, that's just funny to me. It caught me off guard. So as awkward as that other part was, he made it, he evened it out for me because I was like, man, Timo, I've seen crazy, and okay, we go to these conventions. There's some goofy people out there, and I like to talk to some people, and I like to, but man, I was like, the faces that Beverly D'Angelo made, and that I'll never forget for the rest of my life.
You always thought you wanted to see that, didn't you? You always thought, just in the back of your dirty little schoolboy mind, and then you're like,
well, I remember seeing her, in Hair. I saw Hair, and she was in that, and I remember thinking, oh my gosh. But then this scene, no, this had nothing like that. This shocked me. I wanted to run. So
it's a shocking movie. Yeah.
Yes. But basically she just, and you're right, it's kind of like the Rosemary's Baby where but she keeps getting she's more sick all the time. The more she stays at that place,
it's
the
draining her.
She gets. Yeah. And then more and more weird stuff kind of happens. I don't know if you want to take it, Timo, from here, but there was another scene I want to talk about, but it doesn't happen for a little bit.
Yeah, there's a few. Well, it's to me, it's just in a general sense of the film. It is a lot like a Rosemary's Baby that pays off. And as a matter of fact, this is sort of a God versus the devil type movie that pays off a heck of a lot more than most of these movies do visually. And it does it in such a stark and such a shocking way. That it's really unsettling, and it's a very frightening, not more than so even there are very scary parts in this movie, but it's a frightening movie. It's kind of frightening. And one thing is, I'm going to jump around here. I know you're kind of going through
bizarre.
Yeah. Well, if we're starting to, it's 7 minutes in. I don't know if you noticed this or not, but this is one of these things I caught. 7 minutes into the movie, there's a scene where the Christina Rains and Deborah Raffin walk out talking to each other onto the street. Okay. And the camera pans in a strange way. And if you follow the pan correctly, Richard Dreyfuss is standing there.
Oh, really?
It's and it was a cameo. It was a real cameo. So we've had Tony Curtis cameos and Richard, but this Richard Dreyfuss cameo was pretty cool. It was pretty sly, but it's him. It is him, is for sure. I even looked up. It's definitely him. So that was kind of funny. But I mean, just to add to the weirdness of this, I'll tell you, this movie's bizarre to the point where Jeff Goldblum is a very small part in this movie, and he's one of the normal ones. And that's when you know your movie's going to go off the rails, is when they cast Jeff Goldblum as as a normal guy, this movie. But really, seriously, it's like it really, really is Rosemary's Baby, but it amps up to the point where
it's more of a ghost story.
There's a lot of The Shining in it. It's like The Shining meets Rosemary's Baby. Yeah, really, it is. I mean, that's very much it. And there's a lot of. I know
this isn't. It's not Exorcist 3, but it felt certain parts to me like they're trying to find out what's going on, like her husband Chris Sarandon. So that kind of felt like that too. There's like a little bit of a cop drama outside.
It's a mystery. They're trying to unwrap what's happened in the house. Yep.
Yeah, and so like there was a lot of stuff in this film that I liked that are reminiscent of other things that I like. I guess.
Right. And the thing is too, the movie was also known for. Okay, so they're basically. This is a very big nutshell. It's not really giving the whole thing away, but there's a gate to hell, basically somewhere in the house. But that's a very simplistic way of saying that. You can still watch it, and that's not really spoiling it. So there are like lost souls, let's say, that come out sometimes, either in their imagination or in real life too.
In real life, yeah.
And these people are played by real unfortunate people with physical deformities. And things like that. And then there's also gore and makeup that was done by Dick Smith, who did The Exorcist. And Dick Smith is the man. And I mean, no disrespect for the other people that we know and stuff like that, but they will tell you Dick Smith is the man. Rob Bottin will tell you Dick Smith is the man. Rick Baker will tell you Dick Smith is the man. So the man did this. So when they have the really weird scene where Christina Rains thinks she's being attacked by like a zombie or a ghost, basically, and she slices up his face. That's Dick Smith, and that's why he's the man, because that is hard to see. You're like, whoa.
Yeah. Now that's the scene I'm talking about.
Okay.
There's
it's a very famous scene.
It's
very, very.
It's been a long
upsetting.
Time since a movie gave me like shivers up and down my spine, so where my spine was tingling, I was getting goosebumps, and it wasn't really that slashing part, but when she first walks in the room,
the flashlight,
the door, and the light goes out, but you can see the, and I think that's supposed to be her dad, wasn't it? The ghost of her dad or something? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And then like you can see him stand there, she can't see him. He's on the other side of the door, and then he just like walks real fast, like past her, and then just stands against the wall. And that right there, when he's standing against the wall, she's like, "Who are you?" It made my skin crawl.
Right.
Because I'm like, oh, man. And it has nothing to do with a mouth going,
right.
Shaky head and anything like that. It had to do with him walking across.
Yes. Yep.
Oh, my God. I was like, that part. And then it amps up to the face slashing part. I was like, wow, that was a really.
She slices his nose off. And it's like, oh, my God. Yeah.
Because there's a super, super also uncomfortable scene where like, is it like her and her sister like bust in on their dad?
Yes.
And he's an old timer.
Right. Yeah.
And he's in there with like kind of some younger women, but not that young, but a lot younger than him.
Right.
One's a real heavy set woman. One's kind of and he's in there and they're butt naked. They're having like a party, like a naked like birthday party, and like, wait, what the hell's going on here, man? That for me, I was like, wait, that set the movie a little off kilter for me too. I was like, what the? So it's almost like, and then this scene with the ghost scene was almost somewhat recreating that scene from the beginning of her seeing her dad and the women in that room or whatever. But that was unsettling for me. It really, and it happens very rare to me. It has to be something, and it made my whole
there are some really good setup. You're just talking about shots that were set up really good, and it's why movies don't work like that anymore. Like they're overdoing it with effects and stuff instead of camera angles and odd movements that people can actually do. They never would have had that
guy behind the door. What would have happened? She'd have walked into the darkness, and a face would have went at her, and that would have been it.
Right.
The fact that, and this harkens me back to like the Hitchcock stuff. But first off, you're seeing her standing in the doorway, and you can see the ghost. She can't though, and that makes you go, "Oh my God, there's a ghost on the other side of the door. Can't you see it? No, she can't see it."
Right.
That just makes it so much more.
Terrifying.
I don't know. It amps.
Spooky, man. It's eerie.
Spooky.
It's just,
And when
you don't want that. You don't want that to happen.
No.
You just don't want that to happen. I mean, that's what a good scary movie does.
That would, for me, if I was standing somewhere and then a figure that was like all the gray just walked in front of me and then stopped 10 feet from where I was at and was standing in a corner, I'd be flipping out. I would be going, who are you? I'd be like, I'd be asking from outside on the sidewalk. Who are you? I'd be like, because oh man, I'm brave, but I'm not that brave.
Right.
I'm not, man. I'll grab whoever I need with me, and we'll beat feet. Yeah, I'm not going to leave you behind.
Right.
But I'm not going to, I'm not sticking around and fighting a specter.
Sure. Well, and it does. This movie takes the good parts that I think that are kind of interesting from Rosemary's Baby, which is the collection of people in the house, stuff like that. And then it takes the good parts from The Shining, where not only are they specters, but they seem like they could be physical threat specters.
Exactly.
And that's what usually blows me. Like, I don't usually care about ghost movies because I'm not afraid of a mist. I'm not afraid of someone else being afraid of something. It's like, it's almost like there's really no threat. She's under constant threat in this movie.
Yes.
And she's being manipulated. And this through the movie. You know that they're after her for some reason and things like that. And so the tension just keeps ratcheting up. And as the tension ratchets up, so does the payoffs in the movie. Because you never know what's going to happen around the next corner. This movie is so much better than Rosemary's Baby or The Omen.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry. I know those are classics. This is just a damn better scary movie. It might not be better to Roger Ebert, but it's better to me. It's a way better movie. It's entertaining. It's got the greatest cast of all time. I mean, when you got Jeff Goldblum and Christopher Walken, these real little roles. And I'm sorry, Christopher Walken is intensely good in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
And the little bit that he's in it, he's just great. Those looks he gives.
Rob Zombie could have taken a lesson from this and made a good movie with the cast that he put together for the stupid-ass Halloween movie. It's like, how do you do that? I mean, you take that many good actors like this guy did and make a fine film with it because
well, it's true. And let's not and Mr. Ben Harley. So there's a lot of good things going on here. This is one that I liked when I was a kid. It scared the hell out of me when I was a kid, and you can see why. Because the first time I saw this, I think I was about 8 years old. Okay, now some of the stuff was edited out. Some of the boobies and stuff were edited out, but not the dude behind the door with the flashlight. Not all that's not the scary stuff was not edited out. So, I mean, let me tell you, it was a frightening experience to see this movie. And I'm going to end it with this, with how I think about this movie. Yeah. Obviously, I'm positive about this movie.
Sure.
It also co-stars Eli Wallach's giant tie. I don't know. He looked like it was a clown tie. He might have stole it off of your wrestlers. I'm not sure. But at first I thought it was his partner. He was a cop, so I did not. But so that blew.
And they were smarmy cops. Boy.
Oh, Christopher Walken was giving daggers with his eyes. I was loving him. And he didn't say much. Usually he's all talk. He didn't say much. He just used his eyes and daggers and stuff. Loved it.
Well, man, them guys, they come in and just let you have it. They didn't beat around the bush on anything.
No.
Mm-mm. You know what I mean? Like they were like, well, I think this is, and you were around when your wife, and they came at Sarandon or that's it. Yeah, they were after him, but I actually, you know what, Tim? I think all in all, it's a really good movie. I enjoyed it. It's one that I want to kind of go back and watch again, or to turn on to people.
Mm-hmm.
I did like it better than Rosemary's Baby. I don't know if I like it as much as The Omen, but I think it's a better movie. Maybe if you
go back and watch both movies,
it moves faster.
Right.
Bowman's a slow too.
I'm just saying, if you go back and watch it through your eyes today, let's say this. How about this? Maybe it's a bit unfair. I can't say it's a better movie, but it holds up a lot better.
Yes, I'm glad I've watched it. That's the thing. I get mad at myself sometimes or down on myself, but because I'd rather, there's so many movies out there that I've seen that sucked that I should never have saw. And so good movies like this got set on the side. Right. But it's nice that I've gotten older. I can come back and watch these ones.
Sure.
Now,
well, it happens to everybody, Ben. I mean, even I've come across some where I don't think I've seen them. I'm really shocked, but I'm pleasantly surprised too.
Yes. This is one of them, which was,
I'm sure
I'll tell you what, though, that Beverly D'Angelo scene, I needed to take a shower after. That felt dirty,
so did she.
Man. Yeah, she did.
I think Christina Frades might have gotten something on her too. She might need to take a shower.
Yeah, I don't mind a little dirty stuff, but whoa.
Especially with her, right?
Yeah, exactly. But I was like, oh no, Mrs. Griswold.
Yeah.
Don't do it to me. No,
this was we actually
shocking.
Yes. I actually got to watch this last night with Angio, and she was falling asleep at the end, but she did say, I do remember we've watched this before. Me and her have watched a couple times. So she was enjoying it too. She was getting tired toward the end. I was trying to keep her awake. I was actually bumping her. Because I'm like, you can't make it through the whole movie and miss this last 10 minutes. You can't do that.
Yeah.
You got to see this, But
I will say the last scene of I guess is cool. Like the way she looked or whatever.
Sure. Oh yeah.
I should say cool. That's not a right.
It's got a good ending. It's got a nice wrapped up story to it. It doesn't cheat. It's not necessarily a happy ending, but it's a fitting ending, and it's very good. Yeah. It's an interesting movie. It's This was back when you could have a movie like this and it wouldn't be stuck in the Christian movies aisle. Too. Right. This is the way a Christian movie used to be. It was just a movie where it was in the world and there was something to it. And I miss this stuff because it's part of it all, I think, So, but anyway, Ben Harley, this is a big Great Ape Up to the rafters, believe it or not, because it is a classic to me. I don't talk about it a lot, but it's a great film, underrated film. Way underrated film as far as I'm concerned. So big Great Ape Up to the Raptors for the Sentinel. What about you, Mr. Ben Holly?
Yeah, me too. Great Ape Up, way up. That's a good one. Mm-hmm. It's been a minute since I've been uncomfortable, and there was 3 scenes in this film that made me super uncomfortable. Super uncomfortable.
Well, glad to oblige.
Oh, jeez, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, well, great. Good stuff. So at least we had a good Great Ape Up week then. So let's hope things keep going good like that. Not sure what we're doing next week, Mr. Ben Harley. Could be one movie, could be 2. The only thing I can promise you is we'll do our best to be here. And until then, stay spooky, and we'll talk to you then.
Keep it creepy, people.
You've been listening to the Timo and Harley Show, brought to you by ScreenPrintingFactory.com, your affordable one-stop solution to all your screen printing needs.